Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. There's a moment we all reach after being hurt too many times. A quiet but heavy moment. When your body tenses, your heart pulls back, and you ask yourself something that feels like survival. Do I have to become hard to be safe? It feels like a choice. Be kind and get crushed, or build a wall and stay standing. But that's a false choice. And this episode is about what lives between those two extremes, because there is a third way. You don't have to harden to survive, and you don't have to stay open to everything that hurts. You can stay soft without becoming a target. Let's name the reality first. If you are someone who loves deeply, who sees people clearly, who still believes in compassion, you will at some point be treated as weak, especially by people who confuse cruelty with strength. They'll test your kindness, dismiss your voice, take advantage of your willingness to care. And when that happens enough, it's tempting to think, maybe they're right. Maybe softness is the problem. Maybe it's time to be sharper, colder, harder. Guys, that's how it starts. And at first, hardening feels like power. You feel less. You say less. You expose less. And no one gets in. But here's the price of that kind of protection. No one gets out either. You're trapped. You're trapped in there with your pain. So how do we stay soft without letting harm keep walking through the door? How do we love people when people are the ones who keep hurting us? The answer, like most good things, begins with a shift. You must learn to love from the center, not from the edge. And here's what I mean. Most of us were taught to love as a performance. Give all of yourself, say yes, don't make waves, be available, be agreeable, be the peacekeeper. And when that kind of love gets violated, we think the only alternative is to shut down completely. But real love doesn't live in those extremes. Real love doesn't mean giving yourself away. It means standing in your truth and choosing to let love flow outward on your terms. Not from desperation and not from fear, not to fix anyone, but because that's who you are. Softness is not surrender. It's a posture, a state of being, an inner commitment to stay human even when others have forgotten how. But softness needs structure. Without boundaries, softness leaks. It gets used. It becomes exposure. With boundaries, softness becomes power. Think of a river without banks. The water spills everywhere. It becomes a flood, chaotic and destructive. But with clear banks to shape it, the river flows strong, directed, and life-giving. That's you. Your love, your empathy, your compassion, they need structure to stay strong. Not walls, but channels, paths. Places where your yes means something, because you also know how to say no. So let's talk about what that looks like in practice. Staying soft doesn't mean letting people speak to you any way they want. It means not returning harm with harm. It means staying rooted in your values while removing yourself from dynamics that violate them. It means recognizing the difference between someone who's struggling and someone who's using their struggle as a weapon. It means honoring your heart without handing it over. You don't owe anyone access to your soul just because you care about them. And this part's important, guys. Staying soft is not passive. I know we've been taught that word, staying soft, is bad. It takes immense strength to respond with clarity instead of collapse. It's saying, I see what you're doing and I'm not going to play the same game. I hear your pain, but I won't let it become mine. I love you, but I won't let you hurt me again. You can set a boundary in a whisper. You can walk away without bitterness, and you can say no and still be love. This kind of strength is quiet. It doesn't shout. It doesn't flex. But it radiates. And here's what it does for others. It teaches them what real love looks like. Not performative, not self-sacrificing, and not desperate. But clean, grounded, and alive. If you're listening and feeling like you've been too open, too tender, too trusting, or too available, I want you to know that your softness is not the problem. The problem is the absence of boundaries protecting it. And you can fix that without changing who you are. You don't need to become suspicious, and you don't need to become cynical, and you don't need to carry a sword just to move through the world. You need clarity, space, and the kind of love that includes yourself in its circle of care. You can still be the one who listens, the one who feels deeply, the one who chooses grace. But now, you can do it with intention, with strength behind your softness, with love that doesn't leak out where it's not wanted, because you're no longer here to prove anything. You are here to live love, not sacrifice for it. Next time, guys, we'll talk about the fire that rises in us when we're hurt, the anger that we try to suppress, the rage that builds when kindness keeps getting mistreated, and how surprisingly that rage may not be a threat to love, but a sign that love is still alive. But for now, remember this: you don't have to harden to stay safe. You don't have to shut down to be strong, and you can be soft and still unshakable. You can be love and still say, not here, not like this, not anymore. I love you guys very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Bye-bye.